Hello, my name is Rita Thomas, and I'm a third-year BIG cohort member, and today I'm happy to present to you an overview of my Capstone project, an online diversity, equity, and inclusion training for KCTCS faculty. Please allow me a moment to preface that this project was initiated more than a year ago, long before the cultural events we have all experienced over the past 2 months. As an instructor and a scholar of African American history, I have always had a deep passion for teaching about our nation's historical legacy of oppression, injustice, and inequality, feeling that education is our only pathway to healing. When this project landed in my professional lap, I was so very excited to be able to combine my scholarly interests. However, today, in the light of our recent events, I feel this project, as I go forward, may have to evolve and change to meet the needs that were not initially identified in this project. As presented here, the content addresses institutional, student, and faculty needs in a pre-George Floyd era. I want everyone to know that I'm aware that these needs may indeed change, and my project may change as a result of what happens over the next few months. I'm conscious and I'm listening, and I want to help faculty to negotiate the pedagogical and the social issues that lay ahead for all of us. Thank you for that consideration. Today, this presentation will provide you with an overview of my capstone. I'm going to explore the rationales for the project and look at the strategies that have been selected to implement the project. I'll wrap up by identifying limitations of the project. My capstone project involves the development of an educational development program for the Kentucky Community and Technical College System faculty. The training program will be delivered online using the Blackboard Ultra Learning Management System. The goal of the training is to enhance faculty awareness in the practice of diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies in the classroom. And a secondary goal is to allow for the institution to collect data about the DEI strategies that faculty implement. The timeline for this project would be to design and develop the training in the fall of 2020, rolling out the pilot program at Maysville Community and Technical College in the spring of 2021. Future implementation at other KCTCS schools will be determined after the evaluation of the MCTC pilot and after that rollout was determined successful. Such evaluations and a system-wide implementation would be beyond the scope of this particular project. The capstone will be piloted at Maysville Community and Technical College and available to all part-time and full-time faculty. The deliverables of the capstone include a 6-module DEI course containing this list of modules that you see here, and also an instructor's guide, a supplemental DEI resource module, and a virtual faculty learning community in the mode of a discussion board that will be maintained in the learning management system within the course. This capstone project was developed in response to the institutional student and faculty needs. Institutional need at MCTC came about as a result of the institution failing to meet the Council for Post-Secondary Education Diversity Plan evaluation. The rubric provided feedback to indicate that the institution needed to show that faculty were attending mandatory DEI training, and they needed to see evidence of faculty's use of DEI strategies in the classroom. This course has been designed to allow the institution to show evidence of progress towards a 100% participation of DEI training, and also allow for the collection of data related to the practices faculty are implementing in their classroom related to DEI. In addition to meeting institutional need, this capstone has also been designed upon the recommendations found in the literature to address student and faculty needs as well. The capstone will address student need in that faculty who participate in this training will become more aware of students' needs to feel a sense of belonging and inclusion. We know from Strayhorn's sense of belonging to Totino's dropout model that students are more likely to persist and be successful in college if they feel welcomed and included in their classroom and school environments. Additionally, colleges are responsible for preparing students to negotiate culturally diverse workplaces after they leave the classroom. This DEI course will introduce faculty to the concept of culturally relevant pedagogy and help faculty to recognize their roles and responsibilities to help their students become more culturally competent citizens. This DEI course also helps to address faculty needs. We've already established that students need to be culturally competent. In order to get them there, faculty must be also culturally competent. They must be aware that diversity education has its own canon of literature and pedagogical best practices. They must be specifically trained in these practices and be exposed to the literature. This course is designed to provide both training and resources. Additionally, the demographic reality of American higher education is that it is a majority white. This means higher education faculty are more likely to lack experiences, attitudes, and skills that would make them culturally responsive practitioners. Thus, they require additional training to help them navigate the cultural diversity that they will incur in their classroom. This DEI course will provide faculty with knowledge and allow them to discuss practices, develop skills, and provide them with insights that may change attitudes related to DEI in their classroom. In addition to lacking experience, attitudes, and skills to be culturally responsive, we also must recognize that generally faculty lack pedagogical training across all of higher education and academia. The system simply is not designed to adequately train faculty to be prepared to teach, let alone to teach with diversity, equity, and inclusion in mind. They may come to the classroom as experts in their discipline, but very few graduate programs have offered pedagogical training to prepare them to teach in a college classroom. It is only once faculty are hired that they can be exposed to educational development programming that exposes pedagogical training. This DEI course has been developed as an educational development resource for faculty within KCTCS to address the failing of a system that does not provide pedagogical training. One of the major selected strategies for the design of this DEI course is reflective, extended, and sustained programming. Faculty will have an experience over a longer period of time. We know from the literature that programs that happen over a longer period of time are much more effective in helping faculty learn content more than if they are shorter, 1 hour, one and done, or just even a day or so type of event. If they have time to think about and practice and process the content, their learning is more effective. This concept of reflective and sustained also permitting faculty to think about their practice and why they're doing certain things, to reflect personally and collaboratively through either discussion boards or journals or activities that will take place in this course as well. And the faculty learning community that will be developed as a discussion board is something that's going to initiate and start at the beginning of the course, but then continue long after the regular course modules are completed, allowing faculty to continue reflective and sustained practice within the course or within the context of DEI. Another strategy, and the key strategy here is going to be the modeling of pedagogical best practices. Universal design for learning is going to be the key framework here. Faculty will be experiencing accessible experiences just as they should be building for their students. Whether it's documents or videos that are accessible, they'll be able to experience those types of things knowing what it's supposed to look like. Additionally, faculty will have that opportunity to practice inclusive engagement with their peers, the inclusive collaborative reflection in that faculty learning environment, establishing a community. And so that's a huge practice, and developing a community within their course to make students feel more welcome is a huge part of that strategy. So those are some main strategies that have been selected. And the limitations are that the project is probably not generalizable beyond KCTCS because the CPE rubric that is used for KCTCS is different than for other four-year institutions. So in this case, the training may only be relevant to KCTCS schools. Additionally, the DEI training, this is only one part of the solution, and so we'll have to look beyond just what this training does to make sure we can address all of the institutional need at MCTC. So in summary, the DEI course has been developed to meet institutional student and faculty need. We have to let faculty know that there's a specific canon of literature and pedagogical best practices. We also have to model those strategies within the course to allow faculty to really experience what they want their students to experience as well. I thank you for your time and your interest in my topic, and I look forward to meeting with you all in another context.